snapshots.
Yeah, just
All right, today second graders, I know that good readers are always asking questions, even when the author isn't telling them what to do. What are readers always doing? Asking questions, that's right. And when we do this, when the author doesn't answer our question, we are making an inference. What are we making?
An inference.
An inference, that's right. And so we are gonna practice reading and using what we know to make inferences. What are we gonna practice? What we read and what we
know.
And also, we're gonna use a strategy today. And it's when I am reading, I need to make sure that I am understanding. And if I don't understand, something that I can do is I can stop and reread. Do that with me?
Stop
and reread. That's right. So today in our story, we are going to be making inferences, and we're going to stop and reread if we don't understand what is going on. And so we are going to do that today in our book that is called Farfalina and Marcel. I love this story. It is by Holly Keller. And so first, I want us to do a preview of this book. And when we preview, we can look at the pictures, and we can look at the title. Just look at the cover here. And what I would like you to do is make a prediction on a sticky note that you can have. And so, what do you think this story is going to be about? Maybe what are our characters? Are they going to be friends? That kind of thing. I'm gonna grab my sticky note too and make a prediction also. And just start to think, what is this story going to be talking about? And when you have your prediction ready to go, you can just set it aside. So set it aside right next to you. And then I would like you to park your pencils and give me your listening ears as we follow along with the story. I will tell you when we can unpark our pencils, and we will write and fill in our graphic organizer together. Okay? Oh, and let's remember our vocabulary for the week. And so our 3 words for the week will be in this story. And I want you to do the actions when we hear them. So let's just remember, our first word is peer.
Peer.
Peer, to look closely. Our second word is vanish. Whoosh.
Vanish.
To disappear completely without a reason. And our last word is reflection.
Reflection.
Reflection, to look at yourself in a shiny object. So let's begin Farfalina and Marcel. The rain fell all morning. It splattered on the pond and splashed on Farfalina's leaf. She found a dry spot and ate it. "Hey," said a little voice, "you're eating my umbrella." Farfalina peered over the edge. A small gray bird was huddled underneath. "Now wait a second. You're eating my umbrella? I don't see an umbrella. What can I do if I don't understand?" "Oh, I'm gonna stop and reread." "Hey," said a little voice, "you're eating my umbrella." Farfalina peered over the edge. I see that Farfalina is peering over the edge of her leaf. And it's raining. The leaf must be an umbrella for Marcel here. Now I remember what's going on so I can read again. But I needed to stop and remind myself what was happening. Farfalina liked his soft feathers and his gentle eyes. "I'm Farfalina," she said, and she slid down to the ground. "My name is Marcel," said the bird. He liked Farfalina's smile and her pretty colors. The rain turned to drizzle, and Farfalina wanted to play. "I'll hide and you find me," she said. Marcel agreed. Farfalina hid under a fern close to the ground, because she knew that Marcel couldn't climb. "Now I'll hide," said Marcel when he found her, and he hid right behind the tree, because he knew that Farfalina moved slowly. I don't think the author is telling me something right here. Why did Marcel move behind the tree? So I'm going to use what I read and what I know to help me out. Here we go. So she finds her marker. help me find out. So I think, what did I read? What did I read? Marcel hid behind the tree. Okay, you may unpark your pencils and start writing. Now I'm gonna think, what do I know about this? Why might he be doing this? It sounds like he's being a nice friend. The author isn't telling me that he's being a nice friend, but I know that good friends help each other. So I'm gonna write good friends help each other. And now, to make an inference, I take what I read and what I know to answer my question. So, I know that because Marcel is hiding behind the tree and that good friends help each other, Marcel must be a good friend. So I write Marcel is a good friend. That answers my question as to why he's stopping and waiting to help Farfalina out. Make sure your paper matches mine and park your pencils and listening ears. I can take you for a ride on the pond, said Marcel. Farfalina inched her way up on Marcel's back. You tickle, said Marcel, and he slipped into the water. Farfalina giggled. There's so much to see, she said. Farfalina and Marcel played together every day. They liked the same games, and they liked each other. But one day, Farfalina was not herself. I'm not sick, she told Marcel, just a little uncomfortable. I need to climb up onto a branch and rest for a while. I'll wait for you, Marcel called as Farfalina made her way up the tree. Marcel watched until Farfalina was completely out of sight. Then he settled himself in the grass and waited. Night came and then morning, but Farfalina didn't come down. Marcel called to her, but she didn't answer. He was very worried and terribly lonely. Weeks went by, the afternoons grew longer and warmer, and Marcel went to the pond. He was growing, and when he looked at his reflection in the water, he hardly recognized himself. He didn't remember what he looked like. So, I don't really understand. Why doesn't he recognize himself? So I'm gonna stop and reread. He was growing, and when he looked at his reflection in the water, he hardly recognized himself. So we know a reflection is when he looks at himself, and he does not remember what he looks like because he's growing. And we know as we grow and change that we might look different too. He went back to the tree every day to look for Farfalina, but she was never there. And after a while, he gave up. At the top of the tree, Farfalina was snuggled in a blanket of glossy silk. She was growing too. Now, what is happening to Farfalina? The author is not telling me. So I am going to take what I read and what I see in the pictures and use what I know to help me figure out what's happening to Farfalina. So I read that she is, Farfalina is in a blanket of silk. And unpark your pencils and please write this as what we read. Now, I'm gonna think about what I know. The book tells me also that Farfalina is a caterpillar. And I've learned in science class that caterpillars turn into butterflies when they're in a cocoon. And so the picture is showing me a cocoon and it's describing glossy silk. So, caterpillars change to butterflies. The author doesn't tell me that, but I know it. So now I'm going to take what I read and what I know to make an inference. So Farfalina, she's a caterpillar, is changing to a butterfly. Make sure your paper matches mine. The sky was blue and clear the morning she was ready to come out and open her beautiful new wings. Now, friends, because we made this inference, we are able to understand what's going on in the book. We know what the author is talking about because we made that inference. She had no idea how long she had been up in the tree, and she floated down to find Marcel. "I'll just wait," said Farfalina when she didn't see him, and she sat on a flower. Night came, and then morning, but Marcel wasn't there. Farfalina was tired and confused. She fluttered around a bit and went to the pond. The pond was glassy smooth, except for the ripples made by a large, handsome goose, who was swimming in solitary circles. Solitary means peaceful and quiet. Farfalina shivered with disappointment. Now, why do we think she shivered with disappointment? What can I do to help me if I don't understand? Whisper it in your hand and then release. I can stop and reread. That's right. So, I looked back to this page. Night came and then morning, but Marcel wasn't there. Farfalina was tired and confused. She's disappointed because Marcel still isn't there. And I know that because I was able to reread. She went to the pond every day to look for the small gray bird named Marcel, but he never came. One morning, the goose stopped his silent rounds and spoke to her. "You must like it here," he said. Farfalina fluttered a bit. "I've been waiting for a friend," she said sadly, "but I don't think he'll come." Turn and tell a partner, who do you think Farfalina is waiting for? I heard Amanda say
Marcel.
she's waiting for Marcel. Now what do we know as the readers?
That's Marcel.
That's Marcel. Maybe she'll figure that out. Let's see. Marcel liked her smile and her brilliant colors. "I know how you feel," he said. "I lost a friend too. She just vanished." She disappeared completely without a reason into thin air. Farfalina liked his sleek feathers and his gentle eyes. "A ride around the pond might cheer you up," Marcel said. Farfalina thought it would, and she settled herself on Marcel's back. "It's funny," Marcel said, "but I feel as though I've known you a long time." "I was just thinking the same thing," said Farfalina. "My name is Farfalina. What's yours?" Marcel stopped suddenly. He beat the water with his strong wings, and he swam round and round and round. The author isn't telling me why Marcel is doing this. I think we need to make an inference. So, we're reading that Marcel is, and I would like you to fill in that blank. What is Marcel doing? What do we read?
Flapping his wings.
Write your answer on the paper. You can unmark your pencils. I didn't say that before. Okay, so I see a lot of friends saying Marcel is flapping his wings, or he's splashing. Now I'd like you to turn and tell a partner, what do you know about an animal or a living thing when they're flapping their wings or splashing or doing something else with their body? What might that mean?
They're excited. Yeah.
So, all right, I'm seeing a lot of friends writing animals move when they are excited. Now the author does not tell me that, but I know that from what we see and what we learn about animals. So I read that Marcel is flapping his wings, and I know that animals move when they are excited. Now I would like you to combine that and make an inference. Combine what you read and what you already know to answer our question. Why is Marcel doing what he is doing? your answer might be different than mine, but let's fill in this blank. I think you know the word that I'm going to use. Marcel is excited. That's right. Because we read that he's flapping his wings, and we know that animals move and they clap or they may swim when they're excited. So the author didn't tell us that, but we know that. "It's me, Farfalina," he shouted. "It's me, Marcel. Is it really you?" "It is," Farfalina shouted back. They looked at each other and laughed. Based on what that just said, do we agree that Marcel is excited or not? I think we made a good inference. By evening, they had explained everything, and they fell asleep smiling at the stars. They explained everything. The author didn't tell me what everything is. Turn and tell a partner what you think everything must be.
Transformation.
Yes. That one.
I heard a really good word. I heard the word transformation. Both Farfalina and Marcel transformed. They must have talked about what happened to them. Farfalina and Marcel spent the rest of the summer playing just as they had before. Marcel was careful not to fly too fast because he knew that Farfalina couldn't keep up. Farfalina didn't hide in the flowers because she knew that Marcel would never find her. I don't really understand that. What can I do to help me out?
Stop and reread.
I can stop and reread. Farfalina didn't hide in the flowers because she knew that Marcel would never find her. And I can go back to the picture. She didn't hide in the flowers. Flowers are usually, I know flowers are colorful. I see that Farfalina is colorful. Maybe she would camouflage? Maybe that would be why Marcel couldn't find her. Agree or disagree? Or if you have another idea, maybe raise your hand. Why couldn't Marcel find Farfalina? We agree? Do we think camouflage is a good idea? And when the leaves on the trees around the pond turned red and gold, they decided to go south together. Now, why would they go south? The author didn't tell me why they would go south. Turn and tell a partner, maybe make an inference about why they would go south.
Butterflies and geese go away. Yeah.
Sierra, can you just share what you told?
Butterflies and geese go south for the winter.
Yeah, we know that. We know that butterflies and birds and geese will migrate to the south when it becomes colder. And so it's becoming fall, so they must migrate where it's warmer. Good job making that prediction. All right, so at the beginning of the story, we made our prediction about what we thought would happen in the story. And so good readers check back at their predictions to make sure they understood what happened in the story. So I'm going to read my prediction. I said Farfalina and Marcel will be friends. And I said that because I saw this on the picture. And let me think, was my prediction correct? I think it was. They were good friends. They spent time together and they played with each other and they're excited to see one another. So I put a check mark on mine. Now, if your prediction is not correct, that's okay because you were still thinking about your prediction as you were reading and you were understanding the story. So go ahead and think about if your prediction was right or wrong. And when you are done, put your hand on your head. All right, I see that we're all done. Turn it and share your prediction with your partner and whether you were right or wrong.
I said duck too. I said duck and caterpillar are going to be friends. Maybe caterpillar will turn into a butterfly.
I knew he was a goose because he was gray. I said a goose and a caterpillar are going on an adventure.
I heard some excellent predictions. Good job thinking about those predictions before our book and listening to see if we were right throughout the book. Now, today in our centers, we are going to practice being good readers, and we are going to be making inferences to help us answer some questions. And we will also reread if we do not understand. What are the two things that we will do? Turn and share with a partner.